And we're back. Maxine, the nutcase Waters, can't explain what her party stands for. It's funny because no one else can either. Mad Maxine stumbles through a simple interview yet again. This time, she's at a complete loss when trying to explain what the Democratic Party currently stands for. The better question is, why are Democrats still allowing Maxine on television to make a mockery of their party? She is a disgrace. Let's take a look.
And we cannot stand for that.
Congresswoman, what do the Democrats stand for other than being against Donald Trump? What do you stand for other than trying to get Donald Trump impeached?
Everyone knows that I am the ranking member of the Financial Services Committee and that I have spent many hours and days implementing the Dodd-Frank reforms. We fought very hard to deal with what happened to us in 2008 after that recession, almost depression, where the predatory lending was the order of the day. And so we push back on the Republicans. We fight against them attempting to get rid of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Before we came up with the reforms under Dodd-Frank,
are Democrats focusing enough on their ideas, though,
consumers had no protection. When you ask me what do we do, first I'm going to tell you what I do. And as my role as the ranking member of the Financial Services Committee, as a strong Democrat who is responsible for carrying out the values that we have, protecting the American people, and making sure that we have an economy that works for everybody and that we rely on, depend on, and respect the Constitution. Now, what else would you like to know?
I personally wanted to know if you think Democrats are getting out there and giving their message enough. If they telling what they want to do to fix things like the economy, like you said, to make sure that the government is working for them instead of coming out and reacting to Donald Trump day in and day out.
Listen, if you have not been keeping up with the town halls that have been going on, where we have basically organized America around the ACA and protected Obamacare, and the thousands of people who have come out who now are very much informed about the difference between Obamacare and Trump care. And that has been, a very positive thing that has been happening, and so many thousands of Americans have been involved in that. And I think people understand that we are fighting and that we are working on the issues of health care and housing and transportation and all those issues that are very dear to us. I think that's very...
Look who the NAACP just fired. The NAACP has fired its president, saying it needed the right leadership, which it clearly was not receiving from the previous president. From the New York Post, saying it needed the right leadership, the nation's most prominent Black American advocacy group announced on Friday that it was ousting its president and embarking on a period of soul-searching to reposition itself in an uncertain era in the fight for civil rights. I wonder if we had a prominent white American advocacy group, I wonder how many people would just freak right out. It seems like you can have an advocacy group for anybody, long as you don't put white in front of it. The move from National Association for the Advancement of Colored People comes as the group has been seen in some circles as taking a back seat to long-standing and newer civil rights groups and movements that have risen to prominence in battles over police shootings, immigration, and LGBT rights. These groups and movements include the American Civil Liberties Union, which recently gained wins against President Donald Trump in federal courts, and Black Lives Matter activists who won private meetings with President Barack Obama as they grew a youth-centered grassroots movement against racism and police violence. The funny thing about Black Lives Matter is that 2/3 of their supporters aren't even black. And then where are Black Lives Matters when the black communities are being shot up and murder runs rampant across the street? Where are they then? I consider Black Lives Matter as nothing but a hypocritical hate group. For the vulnerable NAACP, its new mission involves modern branding techniques and greater outreach. We believe, as an organization, We need to retool to become better advocates, better at educating the public, better at involving them. Derek Johnson, vice chairman of the NAACP Board of Directors, said in a conference call announcing the change. Johnson said the group would embark on a national listening tour as part of its rebranding. That kind of tour, which is a common strategy among politicians as they seek to gain public support, has never been done in the NAACP's 108-year history, Johnson said. Well, the only advice I'd have for them is don't hire another white person pretending to be black, unless you want your brand destroyed. Ivanka is trending in Saudi Arabia, and the reason is driving liberals nuts. Look at these guys. The men are loving it, the women are mad. Ivanka Trump's decision not to wear a hijab is causing quite a stir in Saudi Arabia. So far, Trump's daughter is trending in Saudi Arabia and the world under hashtag Trump's daughter, literally. Well, she's a beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. What's wrong with that? And then you got this feminazi psychopath down here. This hashtag exposes our society and KSA for what it is: men's hypersexualization of women, especially blonde, white, and blue-eyed. Shameful. So, probably hates men through and through. Psychopath, full of hatred, envy, and jealousy. Look at this guy. He's saying my heart's broken. That's funny. Ivanka trending in Saudi Arabia as the country finds out what a woman without a hijab looks like. Well, they look damn good, for one. That's an awesome picture. That's hilarious.